and the recording will go out later as well. Welcome to the holiday trees. Finally. Good morning, Julia. So, one reason I sent the stitch guide is I'm doing a class. Is the fact that everybody's always says to me, can I get a picture of the piece close up, blah, 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 blah. All right. Which to me, I'm like, okay, let me just send it all together. So this is the holiday trees. It's got a lot of bling in it. I don't know why I went blingy, but I just felt that this one called for a lot of bling.
Mhm.
Um, to make it fun and whimsical and just have a good time with it, was the purpose. When I saw it, it's one of those canvases that when you see it, you're super excited to get it and you're super excited to get going. And then once you look at it further, you're like, oh, what did I just do? And you don't know what you just did, but you do it anyway. Okay. So I'm going to walk you, if you're missing any threads, let me know, because I did save some aside. All right. And I felt that, and I tried to give you extra threads, but if you're missing something that's super essential, let me know besides the sequence. Okay. Which I know most of you are missing. Um, so a couple people that paid later on are the people that got them later on. Good morning, Jean. So the first thing I did that I'm going to go in order of how I would do it this time around. The background, I tried in several different ways. I tried it with white. I tried it with a couple of other things, and I came back and said, let's just use platinum. So that's your SP, your Silk Lame, Petite, and you will use almost 2 cards, almost. And it's just a skip tent, and you can do the skip tent going in this direction, or you can do it in this direction. Go over the snowflakes. All right, make your life easy. Just follow the path and go over the snowflakes. All right, because you're going to get most of those snowflakes are going to get a bead in them later. And somebody had said to me once, if you stitch where the bead is going, it will sit nice. The bead will sit nicer on the canvas. I'm not really sure that's true for me, but go over, just continue down. All right, and start at the place where you can get the longest line. And that will help give you the ability to set the whole entire canvas up, because there is some very little compensation, but you'll find yourself like when you get down into this area here that you might have to kind of guess what it is. And that's okay, because the stitch is so faint that you're barely going to notice. If you end up doing 2 rows next to each other as opposed to skipping it, nobody will know besides you, unless you're, of course, a perfectionist. All right, so the background first, get that done, and then go back and do the green and the red. And I'm going to tell you, this stuff takes forever. Unless you're super speedy, it takes forever. So in doing the green, and mine has dog hair on it, so that's just extra love. It's an easy balloon stitch. In every other row, I used the sparkly thread, and then the other row is very velvet. And you should have a diagram of this in your in your stitch guide. And I went straight over that white line. Okay. Will you see it when you're stitching the canvas? Yep, you will see it. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Your thread is thick enough to cover it, and when it's complete, you won't notice it. Okay. Leave if you feel, and then I would do, and once you've done that, before you add the rickrack, go ahead and do the top and the bottom. They're the same stitch. It's a woven stitch. And in the first part of the woven stitch, so I don't care which way, if you're going this way or this way, one of them, the one that you go this way will be the silk lame. The one that you go the other way will be the ply from Planet Earth.
And so you use 8 plies of that?
No, I did
Mm.
not.
Okay.
I think I used 3.
Okay.
So it is an 8 ply. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even write it down for you. 3 or 4 at the most.
Okay, so 3 strands.
Okay. And when I send out the recording, I will make sure that I say that. I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So basically it's 8 ply. You're going to cut it in half. Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Oh,
Sorry.
and some people like to ply the whole thing and then put the strands back together. I don't. You know it's an 8 ply, so you know that 4 is in the unplied and you have 4 that's in the plied. Some people will use a laying tool for this. I don't. All right. I'm too lazy. Okay. And honestly, with this stitch, you shouldn't need it. So, but it's the woven and giving it that little bit of texture of silk lame in between just gives it that little bit of bling. And once those 2 sections are completed, if you want to do your rickrack, then go back and do it. So what I did for the rickrack is I tied a knot at one end underneath the canvas, brought it up and brought it over. Okay. I brought it over to the other end, brought it down, but I did not knot it until I was completed tacking it down. And you can tack it down with either the invisible beading thread, or you can tack it down with the 3441 gray and soie d'Agé, 1 strand. All right. And instead of I did try to go up and down because your canvas shows it hilly, right? Canvas shows it going like this. It was almost impossible to do. And because of the design of the rickrack, it does that for you. So I basically you are ignoring the canvas for that if you choose. Okay. So that covers your entire background. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
When this is done, can you do it in a pillow?
absolutely. I'm doing mine as a pillow.
Okay.
Okay. You can do it in a pillow. You probably just don't want people sitting on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And honestly, for me, it goes on it stays, you know where it stays, Joanne. It lives here at the store.
Right.
And during the holiday season, it will go on a bench where nobody sits.
Right.
So, and the only reason why you don't want anybody sitting on it, the stitches are fine, but when you get to the beads and the sequins and stuff like that, you just don't want it. I know somebody that her grandmother used to call them turnaround pillows. Okay, so she would turn around the pillow when somebody came to the house. So the front of the pillow where the design is the other way. It's on a couch or something like that. But if you're like me, nobody comes to visit you anyway, so you're good to go. All right, but yes, I'm going to have it finished as a pillow. I could not get it finished in time for this class, which is why mine's not completed. And honestly, I know this is a busy canvas and I know there's a lot going on, but for the first time in my life, I'm keeping something incredibly busy. So it will have fringe, it will have whatever my finisher decides she wants to do with it. Okay, because it is blinged out. And every once in a while, Christmas has to be blingy. So that's your background. Stay away from the beads until you have all your trees completed. I know some people do them in between, but it will be easier on you to do them afterwards. And then after you've done your background, and we'll review this again next week because there's certain pieces that I did uh, that like the background, and I found a different way to I found that going in rows with the beads actually made the beads go faster, even if I had to go back into one a second time. Okay, some of them you will have to go back into a second time, but that's what it did. So so getting to the trees, you have two light green trees. And I believe you have some silk straw, which you're going to split the silk straw in half. You're going to split that one strand in half. I believe I have some in here. So splitting it in half is not difficult, but good morning, Denise. It works perfectly on 18 count if you split it in half. You don't need to iron it or anything else like that. You just split it down the middle. If it's a little bit more to the right than the left, don't worry about it. It's still going to cover that spot. It's a continental or basket weave stitch. On this one, I did not go over the sequins. I went around the sequins. And for the white swirls are done in a white radiance. And what I did is I did those afterwards. You can do them prior to if you want. If it's easier for you to do them prior to, do them prior to. Usually you do the white prior to, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't know what I was going to do there until I got there. So splitting, yes.
Can you go back one step? The tree trunk, the soie,
Yep.
Stelgere, one strand?
You're going to use 2 to 3 strands.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And tree trunk, 2 to 3 strands.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for finding all of my mistakes. 2 to 3 ply.
Okay,
And one skein, you should have some left over. Because there's so little.
Yeah.
You do use it for a couple of the trees. But there's so little, and it's just a continental tent or basket weave stitch, whatever you choose to do in those tree trunks. And as far as the swirls are concerned, just follow the swirls in those two particular green ones. I don't know if you can see it up close. I don't know if I need to pull one way or another, let me know. All right, so just follow the little swirls, and I just did like an outline stitch, a tent stitch, are the easiest ways to go for that. And if you do a little bit more in a swirl, it doesn't matter. And it's just, they're very faint. It doesn't overpower the tree. And both those trees are the same except for size wise. And the star, it's a Rhodes stitch. So with the Frosty Rays, it's a Rhodes stitch. And if you've never done a Rhodes stitch before, I'm gonna take my camera and I'm gonna show you what I mean, because there's different types of Rhodes stitches. And the easiest one is probably a square. And then you have, a heart or whatever. And so if you have a star, you can see where oh, you can't see right there. Okay, right there. So say this is a Rhodes stitch and this is the top of the star. You're just going to follow that down. And then you're moving clockwise or counterclockwise into the hole next to you, next to that one. All right. And if it's a star, you might miss a stitch, you might miss subsection, but just keep going and all the way around. Just all the way around the canvas until you've filled your spots. And if you do it, and like I said, you can either do it clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. You're still going to get the same effect. So that's a made up star. And that's really how that's all that is. And you can go around a second time if you choose to. All you're gonna make sure you do is you cover that area. Okay, video on. Okay, so that is for those light green stars, light green trees.
Right, okay.
The middle
So-
tree is a vertical brick with one of your plies. It doesn't matter which one you use, whichever one you fancy. And I did cover on this one, I did cover the dots, and I went back and put in the sequins randomly. And as far as the star is concerned, because it's an outline, that red cording that you got, that red soft twist cording is very pliable, okay? That red cording, you're just gonna, it's a long stitch going in the directions, creating an outline over your star.
This is the frosty rays for the star?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For the yellow stars.
Right. That's-
And the red cording is in a little box. A little, hold on.
There's the
Yeah.
back.
Yes. And there's plenty of it in there. Like you will have leftover after this project. Okay. Because you do use it on two other pieces. Two other trees. These green trees. These green trees, on your piece, there's like a design in the lower green. Okay. I stitched it, hated it, pulled it out, stitched it, hated it, pulled it out. And then I decided, let's just cover it and put little snowflakes on it. So if you're missing those snowflakes, let me know. I think everybody got them, but if you are missing them, let me know. And in the middle,
These are the snowflakes, right?
yes. And I did, on the taller one, I have 6 snowflakes on the bottom. And on the little one, I have 5. So if you do a basket weave stitch in that light green bottom, and then you can place your snowflake on there afterwards. Do your snowflakes before you do the garland.
So there are 2 greens that we use on those, and how many strands on each? 3 or 4?
I would do 3 or 4.
Okay.
And when I send out my email, I will remind you that it's 3 or 4 and that, yeah. Hi, Nicole. I will remind you that it's 3 or 4. The middle, the dark green in this 2 shaded one is a diamond pavilion stitch. Fairly easy to do. Well, you might get a couple of full diamonds, but everything else you'll get little pieces of. The top, which is the same green as the bottom for the lighter part, and then I used the radiance in the darker green, and all I did was a straight satin stitch to fill those gaps. In some areas, which is why I sent you the picture, in order to make it more uniform, I did 2, like a 2 over 1, over 3, over 2, just to give some consistency. And I can send a close-up of that one when I send it in order to fill that area. I'm missing a bead. In order to fill that area, but the background is all basket weave on that one. And like I said, the tree trunks are all the same. You're going to use 2 to 3 plies. with the exception of the one where you have the leaves, I would use 4 plies. Your trunks in that are all basket weave or continental. And your leaves are they would call it a leaf stitch or a straight stitch or a diagonal straight stitch. And I start at the I start inside and work my way out. So the vein is part of that green and it gives it some of that, let me see which way. It can give it some depth. And there is a little bit of gray peeking out in there in certain places, but not all over the place. Some of them are totally green. Okay, as far as the cording is concerned, once again, I started with my thread on the back. And if you follow if you follow the canvas, it's not all on, the cording is not all on top. Some of the cording is beneath. So I did go in and out as I'm twisting around, I went in and out. All right. I did tack it down with some invisible thread as I'm turning, like as you're turning the corner, especially over here, as you're turning those really round corners, and because it's a soft metallic and it is moldable, sometimes it's a little softer than we want it to be. So a perfect place to tack, you don't have to tack it everywhere, but a perfect place to tack it down with like one little thread is in that area. And then bring it around. And then every time you don't see the red, bring your
Goes
thread
underneath.
all the way down and up. I cut a really nice long piece. So I was able to do the entire tree in one swoop. Any questions?
I'm going to ask a stupid question.
It's not a stupid question.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. From on the background, the snowflakes. I understand they're done with bugle beads.
You have two different,
Two
you have
sizes.
two sizes.
Yep.
Your longer one, and what I was going to do is I was going to do this next week, but I will repeat this next week. So your ones that go this way
Yep.
are done with the 6 milligram.
Okay.
Okay, the ones that go this way are done with the 3. So
Okay.
your diagonals are done with 3.
And then there's nothing in the middle?
I didn't do anything in the middle.
Okay. That's what I want to know.
I was going to put a bead in the middle, and honestly, it just,
It was
and I know
probably
this
too
thing has a
much.
lot of bling on it. It
It
was
was
just
too much. Yeah, that's what I thought. I tried to look at your piece too. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It was just too much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you look up, and which is why I sent you the picture of it, it doesn't need it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure if it was there or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be done in about 15 minutes. Okay. As far as the beads are concerned for this part here, start either at the top or at the bottom. Do this after you've put on your sequins. You can put these on late. It doesn't matter. Those don't matter. I started anywhere I wanted to start, and I put enough beads on there to get me to that point. Brought my needle down, brought it back up, did the same thing all the way up. So, and I did not tack it down. You do not, if you're doing it in that diagonal, you should not have to tack it down. In regards to the other sequins, the red sequins, which will be going out in the mail, with your little small red bead, you put the sequin in, you bring your thread and needle up, put your sequin on, put your bead over it, and drop it back down. You can drop it back down into the same hole. I do have little beads on this. There's little red dots on this one. I did put beads in there. And then the last thing I did was the sequence. I think everybody has the E6000, the glue. Do not use it very sparingly. In fact, if you have a pair of tweezers or something like that, that's even better. Just kind of drop it in very, like the glue will dry. Some people will put it directly on their canvas, which is totally fine. You just want to make sure that you can drop that crystal in the same place that you dropped that glue. And I've done it both ways. I've done it with the glue on the back of the crystal. I've done it by putting a little bit of glue in the area that I want to be. I press it down, keep it there, and it should be good to go. And you don't have to press for very long.
Okay.
Any questions?
Sounds good.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is we'll visit again next week. I know not everybody's going to start working on it now, and that's fine. And this is recorded. And if you need any help with any one of the stitches, which are fairly easy, let me know. And when I send out the video, I will also send you how much I will make sure I put the ply information in there. And have fun with it. And if a stitch doesn't work for you, you find something better, let me know. I'd love to see it because I love when something comes back and it's not mine. I love seeing that because, and anybody that knows has taken classes with me know a guide is just a guide. It's not a mandate. It's not the law. You don't hurt my feelings. I'd be very happy if y'all came back with something different. All right. It would be a lot of fun to see.
I have a question about
Yes,
the
ma'am.
bottom background
Mm-hmm.
balloon stitch. I noticed that for the woven, there's two cards with the Silk Lame braid
Mm-hmm.
and one of the Fury.
Mm-hmm.
You're stranding that. I have for the green one Silk Lame braid.
You should only need one.
You should only need one. Oh,
Mm-hmm. If you need another one, I have plenty, Joanne. I've
Okay.
saved them aside. Nothing will go on the floor for a couple of months for this project.
okay.
Yeah.
This was weird that there were two of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I barely needed I barely needed the second Very Velvet. I might have needed it because I ripped out the first 4 stitches. You know what I mean? It's like I kept ripping out. So
And did you start in the exact middle and work out?
no, because most people, you should, but I did not. Because it is every other one. So no, I did not.
Okay.
That's not how my brain works. That's not how my brain works. So, yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here
Okay.
to help. I want everybody, I can't wait to see them. I know Vicky is probably going to finish her own.
I am. I have a question. It's not related to this at all. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Do you know, because we're coming to Hilton Head after Christmas, we always do that week. Do you know if they're having any programs then? I can just keep watching your email. I mean, I watch your emails every day.
Any programs in regards to classes?
Yes.
I don't think so, but if there's something you want to learn, if there's something you're dying to learn, just let me know what you want and I'll make sure I make time for you or one of us.
Okay, because we come over there. You know that.
I know that. So just
Okay,
let me know what you want and I'll make time for you.
Okay, thanks.
As long as I can do it.
I know.
So, and if, like I said, if you need anything, let me know. As soon as this is completed and it is up, I will let you know. If you need any information, if you need to know how to do a stitch, I can go ahead and do a demo, no problem. And I will see you all next week.
Oh, great.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day,
Okay.
ladies.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you Thursday.
Yes.